Paul, it's a bit of a cliche about the importance of the Christmas period, but we're just about here. How important is it?
Yeah, well, back-to-back games come thick and fast. I think the league table can change quite quick, sometimes in your favour, sometimes not. But yeah, quick games, and you just need to pick up wins, try and keep the group healthy and happy and fit. Yeah, so I look forward to I like games coming thick and fast, so I think it suits us.
I know you really care about your players as people as well, and appreciate the...
As you should, yeah.
That. How difficult is it to make sure that they get the family time and also the work time, I suppose?
Yeah, the balance is difficult at times. They're not robots, they're, people. Fundamentally, if they're professional footballer at 27, they're still entitled to see their kids. It's as simple as that. But and you sort of try and run a ship on discipline and care. So sometimes they intertwine better than other times. But I base it on trust to a certain extent. So I've never had my teams in on Christmas Day. But I do expect the players to do something. They have to put a video message on. They have to show they've done something. So there's a bit of trust, but they don't have to film their whole run. But anyone who's doing a video message running down the road who turns round after 30 seconds and pretends they've done it is like, even if I brought them in here, they could go home and have 10 special brews anyway. So it's based on trust, and I expect a really good performance against a good team on Boxing Day. So I try and get the balance as well as I can. We always have a 2-day lead-in to all games, so try and keep that as best we can, try and keep patterns as well as we can, and obviously we monitor everything. So so they are footballers, but first and foremost they are humans.
I know supporters are looking at the schedule and looking at Oxford and Peterborough. Obviously, they are teams that are in the top 6 alongside you. Do you do that as well? Do you look ahead?
I try not to, because football managers have the ability to catastrophise everything. So you're like, oh, they look tougher games, or So I don't get, and obviously you always only ever one phone call away from not coming in. So you don't need to get too stressed too far ahead. But I am aware that at the end of the month it becomes harder, so to speak, on paper. But I prefer them games, truth be told. I prefer games that teams are coming at us, so that suits us, I think. So I am aware that, we've got a much tougher end to the month, hence why our performance wasn't great at the weekend, obviously, but it was more disappointing to drop 2 points because, they're 2 massive points in games that you want to be picking up max.
I always like to ask you a couple of days after a result if anything sort of changed your opinion of what you saw. Is that true from Saturday or not?
I mean, my most honest opinion, and I'm crazy for saying it publicly possibly, is that physically we were okay, but decision making wasn't great in many incidents. Like, many players weren't as good on the ball as they have been. Many players made weird decisions on the ball. That aside, we still possibly should have won. Looking back, looking at both halves intently, first half we had a lot of control but had no goal threat. Second half we had 0 control but had more goal threat. So we changed the system. Then we went to a 3-5-2. Then we went with 2 10s and a 9. We did everything we could to get a goal, which we got. But then, again at the end, we made a bad decision with our defensive line. The experience should straighten that out and separate, and we would have won, although not handsome, which I always like to say we won handsome, but we wouldn't have won handsome. But so there's the constant, conversations you have in your head with your coaches. Look, we have more threat with 2 up top, but we have less control. We have this, we have that. Which way do we go next game? Does it suit this game, this shape? Do we need to change it? Do we need this, that? So there's always thoughts going off your head. When people listen to this, football fans of mighty Derby County will be saying the same things. Oh, I'd have done that. I completely understand. We made all the subs we thought to win the game, and we'd probably done enough. Cash's chance was a good one as well. So all in all, I was hugely disappointed, and we need to put it right tomorrow night, Thursday night.
Do you put it in the context of you've won your previous 5, or again, do you not look back?
No, not really. Not really. I mean, obviously, if you win 5 and you drop 2 points, it's less of a blow. But weirdly, I see it the other way. I think like, oh my God, it was a perfect opportunity to win another one. You come off, you see the results, and you're thinking, like some people will go, that's not so much damage. And then you're thinking, oh my God, you know, if we'd have won, we'd have been in an even prettier place. And there's always going to be a curve in the road going ahead. You know, another one's happening. You know, it might be tomorrow night, Thursday night, we might not win, or it might be the Boxing Day. Or so you just need to pick up points. And even if you're not playing well, you should be good enough to see out a game. And that's what disappoints me. And you know, I've said it publicly a few times and to the dressing room that look, we've got to be better to see out a game than that. So. Yeah, so it's a frustrating end to a game, and I said this already, but the 2 games that frustrate me possibly the most was that and Pompey. You know, the last minute of the game we concede, and I know football goals happen late on all the time, but I don't like to see us as the same as any other team in the league. We're better than that. We keep clean sheets. Our goalkeepers don't have to do a lot. So to concede 2 late goals like that, take that off it, and I'm obsessed, I know, but. If we end up with plus 90 points at the end of the season, then we should be where we want to be, and that's 2 points a game. And if we would have hung on, we'd been 1 point shy of our total after 20 games. So, which is pleasing. And that one incident, leaves a bit of bile in my mouth. So not so good.
Given what we were saying earlier about Christmas and the schedule and everything, are you happy to be playing on Thursday night rather than Saturday?
Yeah, it's random. Yeah, I am quite pleased. I mean, honestly, I'd probably prefer Friday because it gives us another day of changing things, what we need to change. But the Thursday to the Boxing Day is good. You get a little bit more recovery, and you know, I'm not saying Lincoln are better than Wigan or vice versa, but Boxing Day games you want to be guns blazing. It also gives. Like we're all going to watch games on Saturday. I think me and Rich are going to Northampton games. So it gives us that opportunity as well. So it'll be great going into work Friday if we've won on Thursday, thinking, right, we can just look at the fixtures and watch the opposition. But it does give our lads extra rest. And over this period, it's a good thing.
Any update on the squad, injury-wise?
Injury-wise, no injuries from Saturday. I know Ryan's joining back in today. So he's back in the training group. Obviously, another like Callum trained last couple of days, as has Tomo. So they're getting closer as well. So no dramas I'm aware of.